Today I want to talk to you about how to properly exercise with Bison 1. As I talk to more people, athletes, they seem to start making the same mistakes. They're very easy to fix, so I'm going to show you how to get the best out of your Bison 1 if you already got it, or what to watch out for when you just start exercising with Bison 1, just so you can get the best out of the exerciser. So the first most common mistake is people overdoing their resistance. So what happens in that case, if I increase my resistance, say, for the amount that I'm not able to really handle, we're going to start with the bicycle exercise, the most common one. So what happens here is I'm trying to twist the Bison 1, and sometimes it may skip like that, but I'm not actually getting the full range of the motion. What you want to do is you will always want to go around to the biggest range of the motions you can get. That's how you get the most out of the exercise. Let me release the resistance a little bit. Okay, so in this case, so you can see I'm going around the full range. Now another thing, the easiest way to know if you're doing it properly or not, if you have too much resistance on your bicycle exercise, what you want to do is you want to have the handles of the exerciser, the steel part of the handle, travel along the rim of the locking ring, of the outside of the locking ring. As long as it travels during the exercise along that rim, you're good. As long as you don't hear snaps like this during your bicycle exercise, you're good. That means you're not skipping, you're going all the way around. Also, during the bicycle exercise, make sure to keep your handles parallel to each other. So, when you start doing the exercise, make sure they're not only parallel to the floor, they're also parallel to each other. Now, same thing applies to the steering part, or to the brace, as we call it. Handles must be parallel to each other, and the handles, the steel rod of the handle must travel along the rim of the lock ring. So that way you get the full range of the circular motion. Another most common mistake that I see is with the push-out exercises. Now the biggest problem with these is people again, athletes again, try to put too much load on the exerciser. That results in only partial range of motion. In strength training, especially in functional strength training, the most important thing is quality, not quantity. So what you want to do is, first, if you just started working with Bison 1, set a minimal load on it and just practice with it. Go back and forth. What you want to do is you want to get used to it. You want to get used to the full range of motion. It is exactly that last push right here that makes the biggest difference. So once you start getting used to it, once you gain more flexibility in your wrists, that's when you want to go ahead and adjust the load and proceed with the exercise. Now, if your wrists aren't flexible enough, what you want to do is you want to bend your elbows a little bit into the inside and do the same exercise. As you gain more flexibility, start extending your elbows out. And you want to finish up with the straight elbows, just like that. Now, watch the videos carefully. The videos that I have online, watch the exercises and watch how I perform them, and try to get them as close as I do them on the videos. Watch out for common mistakes of pulling the exerciser out, especially behind the back, with the vertical push down and up. A lot of people start pulling it out like that. Watch out for that mistake. It has to go strictly up and down, up and down. Even though you can't push it as far that way, that means your wrists just aren't flexible enough. Over time you will be able to. Another most common mistake is keeping the body of the exerciser parallel to the floor at all times, unless it's an exercise that involves rotating the body of the exerciser. For instance, if you're doing front wrist push-ups, push-ups, make sure that the body of the exerciser is always parallel to the floor. Don't have it bend up and down, one side up or one side down. That's what that's what I see a lot of that athletes seem to start doing, as one wrist is sometimes stronger than the other. If that happens, take down the resistance. Lower it down a little bit until you are able to do it properly with the body parallel to the floor. Same thing with breaking horns. You go up and down. Now one wrist may also be stronger than the other. So you may run into this, where you're able to push it up with one wrist, but the left one is not giving up. Again, take the resistance down a little bit until you're able to do both wrists at the same time and start climbing up in resistance gradually. As you gain flexibility in your wrist, you'll be able to gain a wider range of motion in any exercise with Bison 1. Start with stretching exercises. Do one day intense training, the other stretching. Alternate them at first. Once you stretch out your wrists to the point where you can actually do the full range of the motion, you can drop the flexibility exercise and focus strictly on strength or endurance training.